Welcome everyone to our podcast. Today we're diving into a text that really challenges our approach to literature and structure. It's like a mosaic of symbols, numbers, and poetic fragments that feel almost like a coded diary of literary experimentation.
Yeah, it's really wild stuff. What part struck you the most?
Well, there's this recurring sequence of numeric markers and symbols, almost like chapter and verse indices, mixed with traditional literary terms.
Right.
It feels as though the author is interweaving modern language with an ancient, almost ritualistic form of writing.
I noticed phrases that hint at themes of love and literature, sort of evoking an intertextual dialogue with classical works.
Exactly. And you can see that interplay in segments where words like sarang appear repeatedly almost as a refrain. It creates a deliberate rhythm, much like a heartbeat. Or maybe, I don't know, like the pulse of a community sharing its deep emotional truths.
That's interesting. So you think the repetitive structure is meant to evoke a kind of emotional continuity?
Precisely. Though I sometimes wonder if that repetition might come off as overwhelming.
I can see that, sure.
But then again, it might be intentionally immersive, to pull you right into the layered narrative.
Yeah, it almost feels like the text is mimicking the chaos and beauty of life itself, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And another thing is the way the text mixes abstract symbols with very concrete numeric sequences. It's like the work is partitioned into distinct chapters or segments, each loaded with subtle cues and calligraphic marks that may represent literary devices or even emotional checkpoints.
Right. It's almost as if each numerical marker is a signpost, guiding you through this labyrinth of thought.
Exactly, though I'm curious.
Hold on.
Do you think the sheer volume of symbols and sequence numbers like 46 all the way up to Mao 92 and beyond overshadows the message, or does it serve as its own kind of narrative?
I'd say it's a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's a challenge. On the other, it creates a meta-narrative about the fragmentation of modern identity. It's almost like the text is questioning the very nature of storytelling.
Yes, that self-reflexive questioning seems central. The text is apocalyptic in its complexity, but also tender, almost like it invites the reader to decode their own emotions as they navigate through these layers.
And one can almost feel the rhythm of language itself. Like each section is a different movement in a grand symphony of thoughts, don't you think?
Absolutely. The cadence jumps, stutters, and repeats in a way that mirrors real human conversation, filled with hesitations like and making it feel lived in and genuine. It's as if the structure is mimicking our own thought processes in real time.
Now here's a thought. While most of the text encourages us to find beauty in chaos, don't you think some parts might be too impenetrable for even the most dedicated reader?
I do see that, and I respectfully challenge the idea that complexity always equals depth. Sometimes the abundance of symbols can obscure rather than illuminate. But then again, maybe that's the point, to force us to engage more deeply and find our own interpretations.
That's a fair point. It's like an art installation that leaves everything open to interpretation. Pretty fascinating, really.
Exactly. And throughout there's an undercurrent that hints at the timeless nature of literature, blending the modern with the archaic, almost like a dialogue between eras. It's as if each symbol and number is a bridge between the old ways of storytelling and our current digital or postmodern era.
And that tension between order and chaos keeps the conversation lively, right?
Yes, it truly does. The text pulls you in by forcing you to reconcile the precision of numbers with the fluidity of poetic language, a kind of intellectual push and pull that makes you pause and reflect.
Wow, what a ride. It sounds, like this piece not only challenges our intellect, but also our emotional responses.
Exactly, and that's what makes it so compelling. Even if it feels, at times like an overwhelming puzzle, each element is there to prompt easier moments of clarity amid the complexity.
I really appreciate how it mirrors our own, often messy, internal dialogues. It's, both an invitation and a confrontation. all at once.
Absolutely. And with its blend of raw language, structured markers, and reflective pauses, it challenges us to drop the notion that every text must be instantly accessible. It reminds us that sometimes the struggle itself carries meaning.
Right. It's not about neat conclusions, but the journey, the very act of deciphering these layers.
And there's beauty in that endeavor. Even if we don't arrive at a single unified interpretation, the process itself is enriched with discoveries about language, emotion, and identity.
Well said. It almost feels like a conversation between the text and the reader, where each new reading reveals more of ourselves.
Exactly. And that's what keeps me coming back to it. Every reread feels like unearthing a hidden layer, sometimes chaotic, sometimes serene, but invariably compelling.
And that's the beauty of literature. It's never one-dimensional. Thanks for unpacking this with me today. I feel like I've gained a deeper appreciation for what might at first seem an impenetrable wall of symbols and numbers.
Thank you. It's been an engaging journey exploring these turbulent yet fascinating tides in literature.
Absolutely. Till next time. Keep embracing the beautiful chaos of words.